Welcome to Malcolm Dawson 370. Tonight we have representatives for two-term Republican incumbent Rob Bloom and Democratic challenger Abby Finkenauer here in the studio.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Happy to be here representing my quality challenger.
Iowa's 1st District has had a long history of voting Democrat for president, but there has been a recent upset in the district in 2016 when they narrowly voted for Donald Trump. How do you think this will reflect in the coming election, or do you think it's part of an anomalous wave of the 2016 election?
Well, first, we don't think this is an anomaly. The 2016 election is not an anomaly. While this district has been previously leaning Democrat and has voted for Obama in the previous presidential election cycles, Donald Trump was victorious in this district due to the anger and the disenchantment the voters felt during the previous Democratic regimes. What our president, Donald Trump, did so well was connect with the voters and align himself amiably to the electorate by promising and highlighting to revitalize the U.S. manufacturing industry, which is so important and critical to the livelihood of the Iowa District 1. And so thus, we actually reject the notion that the 2016 election was some sort of a mystery. Trump and his campaign did a masterful job during the respective presidential election cycle, and the GOP and our party feels utmost confidence in continuing our electoral victories.
With the polarizing policies coming from the White House and a wave of female politicians taking the call to action to the height of the Me Too movement, we believe it's enough to flip the district back blue. Ms. Finkenauer is also endorsed by Emily's List, which is a PAC that is primarily focused on getting women into office. And I think everyone can see it's time for a change, and I think that's reflected in the latest poll.
Well, the two candidates were neck and neck in the polls until a U.S. House Ethics Committee began investigating Bloom, a wealthy businessman, for failure to disclose his private business on a required form. Now Finkenauer holds a 10-point lead on Bloom. Do you think that these attack ads have represented Bloom fairly?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. The notion that Representative Bloom did anything illegal is clearly an attack against a good man, actually a really good family man at that. This is clearly an orchestrated political assassination by the usual suspects, the radical left. Mr. Bloom has already addressed this issue clearly multiple times throughout the campaign. It was just a minute clerical issue. What are we supposed to do about it? Once the problem was identified, Mr. Bloom immediately self-reported himself to the Ethics Committee. Let me make this clear right here. Not only did Mr. Bloom come clean about his relations to Tim Moon, the company at question, he never ran the company, he never worked for, and he's not even working for them currently. I would also like to point out that the Democratic quality challenger also had certain ethical issues in the past.
The notion that Ms. Finkenauer's offense is in any way comparable to Bloom's is preposterous. Finkenauer's offense happened in 2015, and she was never even formally investigated. This is a classic attempt by the Republicans to shift the blame onto the Dems.
Well, due to its contentious nature, this race has gained the national spotlight. The president has officially endorsed Bloom, whose policy issues mirror the president's agenda. He has voted with the president 94% of the time. House Speaker Paul Ryan also visited Iowa to campaign for Bloom. In October, Ryan held a private fundraiser for Bloom, while former President Barack Obama has officially endorsed Finkenauer, who has continually supported creating and maintaining middle-class working jobs. Let's cut to commercial break.
Poopsie, poopsie, the happiest little tiny halo poop. It's poopsie, poopsie, always polite and a pleasure to scoop.
Halo pet food made with whole meat for proven superior digestibility.
And now we're back. So I think it's fair that we close out with our predictions. Even though this district is usually a toss-up, we're pretty confident that Finkenauer is going to win. We think that this is just going to be one of the many House races that help flip the House come November. Finkenauer is ahead in the polls. She outraised Bloom this quarter, despite the incumbency advantage Bloom enjoys. And she is not a part of the president's party, which has always proven to lose seats in past midterms. Also, the fact that she is a female candidate in the current election cycle is a substantial advantage for the Democrat. Bloom, in our opinion, won't be able to fend off this challenger due to limitations in fundraising, the crippling ethics inquiry, and Bloom's unwavering loyalty for our president. That will all lead to his downfall.